Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm hoping to get on here more in 2023, starting this year out. And it's not going to be concentrated on makeup, but today I'm doing an eyeshadow tutorial because that's been highly requested on my Instagram channel. So I thought I wanted to go over here, kind of do a more in-depth video, but I'll be doing a lot of home things over here on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe while you are here. Today though, I'm just doing this simple, easy eyeshadow tutorial. I'm going to be using the Tarte eye palette, the Lid Laugh Love Dream. I have everything linked below in the description. I did a blog post. I decided to use this Tarte one though, just simply because I share it so much over on Instagram, and it's just a really good neutral everyday eye palette. So that's what we will be working off of. The other thing is brushes. I know some of you probably don't even have hardly any brushes, but good brushes are key, honestly, for eyeshadow and for your face. You need good brushes. I like the It Cosmetic brushes and the Morphe Sigma. I know e.l.f. has a nice eyeshadow brush kit. I haven't tried that, so I need to try that, but I've heard good things about it. So what you want to have in your collection is a nice fluffy crease brush. This is going to help you do the crease here. This is an It Cosmetics one. The next one would be a detail brush like this one, and this is going to help you do your outer V and any eyeliner if you want to put it on with your eyeshadow. This is the Morphe 421 brush that I have. You also want just like a flat, kind of curved oval one like this one for your eyeshadow on the eyelid part here. This is just a generic one that I have. I don't even know the brand. Last one that I like to have is a smudge brush. And this is going to go underneath your eye and help you get that smoky eye look underneath the eye here. So these are the four, that I would recommend to have. And yes, we are filming from my beautiful closet. This is where I do all my makeup, and it seems to have pretty decent lighting in here. So this is unfortunately where we are for now. But let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to create this everyday eye makeup. Okay, first thing you want to do is go in and prime your eyes. I really have been liking this Urban Decay eye primer, but you can also do concealer. So you could just go put some concealer on. I've already primed this eye. And then pat your concealer in and then go in with a little bit of powder. But the eye primer is also pretty nice to use as well. So I'll just pat that on a little bit. I'll kind of let it dry here for just like a second. And then I go in with just a little bit of my face powder. And I'll kind of just pat that on there. So you want a nice smooth surface to start with, and then also any redness or anything in your eyes, your eyelids, it'll get rid of that. Okay, so like I said, you need good brushes. So we are going to start with this guy here, this little fluffy crease brush. So when we're talking crease, that is this part of your eye right here. So when your eye opens, this is your crease right in there. So if you have more hooded eyes, meaning when you open your eyes, you're not seeing a lot of your eyelid here, then I would bring the crease color up a little bit higher. And since I have such crazy tweezed eyebrows, I have so much space here, I usually will bring it up a little bit higher. So first color we're going to start with is called the transitional color. So that is usually going to be one of these lighter, neutral shades that you see in the palette you're going to want to start with. The one that I tend to go to the most is this one here, which is called, I think it has all the numbers. Yeah, Memory. So this one here is going to be our transitional color. So you're going to dip your brush in there quite a bit, and then always tap. I don't know if you saw all the excess that came off of it, because you don't want a lot of fallout, and fallout is essentially the eyeshadow powder falling down onto your face under the eye, which some people actually put their makeup on after, but I'm not that fancy. So this is hard for me because I'm looking in the camera and not a mirror. So you want to be looking essentially down at a mirror. Okay, and then I'm going to do sweeping motions like this, like windshield wiper motions, but then I'm also going to come in and do circular motions, and what that's doing is just blurring out the lines. You don't want like fine lines going on. And then I'll just keep building until I'm happy with the color. Again, tap my brush, and then I'll just start building up on my transitional color. Hopefully you guys can see that. So you want to take it out just to like about here. So like the end of your eye here, you'll bring it down to like kind of like the end of your brow bone right there. And again, I'll do sweeping motions and then circular motions. Another thing too is I'm holding my brush pretty far back. The closer you are, the more pressure you're going to have. The further back, the less pressure you're going to have. And when you're doing this, you don't want a lot of pressure. So you could always build up by adding more eyeshadow. So like the harder you're pushing, the more it's going to get on there. And for the transitional color, I don't want a lot of, you know, color right now. This is just kind of going to be like our neutral base that we're doing. So again, swiping and circular motions going on here, holding our brush pretty far back, tapping off the excess every time we dip back in. And then as we go, I'll probably go up a little bit higher as we add, as I add the more eyeshadow to it. But again, you kind of want to have your mirror to where you're looking down. And then I also have like another mirror here. So I like to look, okay, how am I looking when my eyes are open? Because I want to see how much of the eyeshadow here I'm going to be seeing when my eyes are open. So I'll kind of look at both mirrors. After you do your transitional color, so we got that on, it's pretty light. I might go in a little bit and do more. We're going to take like more of the detail brush like this one. This is the Morphe 421, but see how it has the smaller one. Now that we're going to use to do the V of our eye right here. So see how this makes like a little V? That's where you're going to go in with a darker shade. So anything that you see in the palette that's like on the darker side, this one's super light, that's what you're going to put in to the outer V of your eye. So let's go with this guy down here. The very last palette, it's called Vivid. And then you're going to get your brush in there, tap off the excess. And then you're going to go in and you're going to start tapping. So you just want to do like, and that's going to get the pigment on there. And we're just going to tap and do the little outer V. And we could always add more if we want to, which a lot of times I do like after I get it. Okay, so see how it kind of creates like a V shape right there. So what I usually will do then is I'll go back in with my transitional color in my brush. I don't get like a ton, and I'll kind of just go in and then I'll start like dragging that a little bit here into the crease. So again, we don't want like harsh lines. And again, I'm doing circular and swiping motions. And then sometimes I'll come and I'll just kind of do a little, again, I'm not pushing super hard at all with my brush. Like there's very, very light pressure here. And I'll kind of just blend this just a little bit. And I'll put that all in there. Because you want everything just to look like it just blends together seamlessly when it's all done on your eye. Okay, next thing I'm going to go in with is kind of just like a flat little eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to do my eyelid, which is right here. So you have two options. You can use the brush or you could just simply use your finger. If you're going in with a more shimmery color, which I like to use this one, it's called, is that the Wonder? Yeah, Wonder. And you can put it on your finger. The more shimmery and like glittery it is, the more I recommend do your finger because it prevents from fallout on there. And then like the oils and stuff from your finger help it stick. With this one, I haven't found that I really do need to use my finger, but I just wanted to show you guys. So you can also go in with this if you wanted to. And then I just kind of put this on my eyelid section here, and then I go up just a little bit right in here, as you can see. So it's kind of all just starting to kind of flow together, you know? So it's not like crazy. And then I'll do my inner corner of my eye here. I usually like to take, on this palette, I like to take this color right down here, which is Hope, because I think it's a really, really pretty color. I'll just use the same brush. I'll take just a little bit of that, and I'll just go in to your inside corner here, and it kind of just brightens up a little bit there on the top. Again, I usually go back in with my crease brush. I'll get a little bit of our transitional color on there again, and I'll kind of just go in, just making sure nothing's standing out. There's like no fine lines, anything like that going on. Not fine lines, harsh lines, you know. So it looks like it's looking really good. So you kind of like want this darker shadow, goes out to the light, and then you have your transitional color here on top. So what you can do at this point, if you're doing eyeliner, you can get on to your eyeliner, false lashes, you know, if you want to do that. So I take the little smaller brush here. This is the Morphe 421, and it's more like a little detailed brush. And then if I want to add eyeliner, which I don't always, I'll go in with like the darkest shade in this palette, which is the Vivid. And I'll put some onto this little brush. Again, I'll tap off any excess. And then, gosh, it's so hard. If you want to do eyeshadow liner, you would just go along the lash line and just do small little taps, just like that, just to get the pigment onto there. And then you can get a little bit more of a line. So I'll do this sometimes like on the top, and I'll just go like to like the middle of my eye. I don't go all the way across usually, but I mean, you definitely can. And like I said, you can do liquid eyeliner as well. I'm not like a huge eyeliner person, but see how that kind of just drug it out just a little bit more there. Then the last thing that I usually will do is I take the little smudge brush. So this is this guy here. This is from It Cosmetics. And then I'll decide what I want to do on my lower lash. So I'll do a little bit more of a smoky look. So I'll go back in with that darker color, the Vivid. I'll put a little bit here on my smudge brush, and I'll go right up along the like my waterline here. Not like in the waterline, but like right under it. And I'll just kind of tap and push, putting that under there. And then if I want to do like more of a smoky look, I'll take like a lighter shade, like this guy here, which is Vision in the middle palette here. And I'll take some of that lighter shade, I'll put it on my smudge brush, and I will go underneath that darker shade that I just did and kind of smudge all this out to give it a more smoked out look underneath my eye. Another thing you want to make sure you're doing is connecting like the corner of your eye. So you want that to all be one piece, essentially going from here to here. But see how that added a little bit more smokiness underneath my eye there. So it just depends. You could do nothing under there. You could go heavier. You could use, like I said, liquid eyeliner if that's what you want to use. And then the last thing I do is I'll go with like a matte, light, like almost white shade. They're always in every palette. This is the color Soft, and I'll take some of that with my eyeshadow brush. Again, always remember to tap. And I'll just come up underneath my brow, and that kind of just like lifts your eye up a little bit, doing the lighter color here. Again, most of you probably have nice brows that aren't like this high up on your face. So then you would just go a little bit underneath the brow, like my daughter Violet's that way. But see how it just kind of like lifts the eye up just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to finish up this other eye, put mascara on. Mascara always like brings it all together, and I'll show you the final product. All right, here we are all done. I went ahead and I got my mascara on as well. Again, if you're using falsies, you can put those on. If you're doing your eyeliner, anything like that, you can go ahead and put that on. But it's just a really simple, everyday look that you could wear Monday through Sunday. And if you wanted to dress it up more, you could obviously go a little bit darker. You could go a little bit darker on your transitional color. You never want to go too dark on your transitional color unless you're really going for like a dark smoked out eye. Otherwise, you want to keep the transitional a little bit less intense, but you definitely could go a little bit darker if you wanted to dress this up and you were like going out on the town or something like that. But this is probably one of my favorite looks that I do. Okay, so be sure to subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Again, I have everything linked below in a blog post for you guys. And I'm going to do the e.l.f. eye palette next time because this one is super pretty and only $10. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know exactly when that video drops.